what the blind looks like. Pretty hidden. Got decoys on both sides of this levee right here. And inside you got a hole. Grizzly, come on, go lay down.
Grizzly, come here.
And 3.5-inch shells in. I had them left over from last year. I can't tell you what's best for anything. Ever since the advent of steel shot and us having to use it, and I understand why, but it's not very effective. Super important though on a blind. As you can see, this blind, here's the inside of the blind down here. Got a shelf and stuff. So you can see where my gun rests right here in the corner. You always got to make sure your safety's on and that you're safe, because you don't want an accident to happen. Get my calls warmed up a bit. Dog. He just lays there and he gets ready because he's as excited. He's probably more excited than we are at the moment, even though he don't look it. And you probably wonder, why do you got so many calls? Well, you got your pintail, your widgeon, and then you just got mallard, another mallard. And you know, this kid here makes these tuck calls, and it's another duck call. You have all these calls because, like humans, right? We don't all sound the same, even though most of us speak the same language. We all have a little different pitch, and so that's what these different calls do. It's not just a roll on the tongue. I'm actually slamming the tongue against the roof of my mouth and using my diaphragm when you blow calls. That's how you blow them the right way. A lot of people like to do with your cheeks, and that's not right. So you've got to be. See how we have the cover kind of rolling over the lip of the blind. And that's what you want, because when the birds fly above and they look down, they don't want to see a perfectly square hole. Make it look as natural as possible. December 4th, 2022. This is in Northern California where we're filming this. See, just like a plane, right? They have to land into the wind. So we have wind, as you can see, blowing right towards the camera right now, blowing this way. So the ducks, geese, whatever it is, if they wanted to come in, they would come around, loop, and usually come right into the wind and lifted off the ground. Sometimes though, they will land on the side that the wind is blowing from, but a lot of times they kind of come with the wind. You got teal and other little ducks like that that can move real quick, and they can land anywhere, but a lot of times they have to come around into the wind. Grizzly, don't go to sleep on me. You know, the thing about hunting is that a lot of people don't get. I could have stayed in bed this morning because that bed was nice and warm, and it's not cold out here today, but it's not pleasant. And it was supposed to be raining, and a lot of people don't like the rain, and I get that. But just being out here with my son and the dog and enjoying God creations with the ducks and the geese, and just it's a different, it's not just about coming out here and trying to kill something. Because I gotta be honest with you, I'm not the best hunter. I don't come out here and usually get many, if any, but I love to come out here and spend time with my son and just do things that most people would be in bed and they wouldn't be out here enjoying this, and feel very blessed that we can do this and then we have a place we can do this at, because this is not an easy thing to get. It's just a good experience to be out here. Even though we probably won't even fire a shot or even get one to come in, but you try, and that's the whole point of life, is you just try as hard as you can while you're here. On a mission to just leave us. If you're watching this and you don't know anything about the duck hunting out here, we're in rice fields. So as you can see, this is a one big, they call it a check that they grow the rice in, and then there's a levee, and then there's another check. I'll take you a little tour inside the blind itself. A little bit lighter now, you can see it's got shelves, and there's usually a two-man blind, so one guy here and one guy right there. And sometimes we even put one of the lids in between us here, so that way the hole's a little smaller. It's a metal box is what it is. The entire structure is metal. All right, we got two. Fetch him up, Grizz. Fetch him up, Grizz, fetch him up. All right, so sorry I didn't have the camera on for that, but we got two. And we're getting this dog trained up. He's hasn't been out in a while, so he's kind of figuring it out again. Starting to rain. The trick to this whole waterfowl deal, you got to dress for this kind of weather, and if you do, it's not a miserable experience. But if you don't, I wouldn't want to be out here without the gear on that I have. But even with the gear on, a lot of times it gets unbearable, but that's usually when the hunting's the best.